Welcome back. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, Christy Butler, contributes to the discussion on the eradication of polio while at the 76th World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland. During an agenda item concerning poliomyelitis, Mrs. Butler noted that the Bahamas acknowledges the ongoing status of polio as a public health emergency of international concern and spoke to advancing the polio eradication strategy for the years 2022 to 2026.
The Bahamas firmly supports the endeavors of countries grappling with endemic polio in their pursuit of eradicating this disease by 2023. While the Bahamas itself has not encountered a polio case in several decades, we are cognizant of the adverse impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on vaccine compliance. Vaccine hesitancy that accompanied the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine exacerbated our declining immunization coverage rates. The risks that arise with importation and outbreaks in non-endemic countries, especially those with tourism-based economies like the Bahamas, are high. We therefore urge the Secretariat not to lose focus on countries that are in a state of vulnerability, though listed as non-endemic.
Mrs. Butler spoke to the strategies targeting the disease for eradication. She commended the collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and other member states in such endeavors.
Program strengthening initiatives implemented to address low coverage rates include, with the assistance of PAHO, the addition of an electronic immunization register for enhanced monitoring and identification of immunization deflators for timely intervention. Strengthen surveillance of events supposedly attributable to vaccination with the use of the EIR is a further benefit. These and other targeted initiatives will endow the Bahamas as a global steward, together with member states and partners, in transforming the vision of polio eradication into a concrete reality. The Bahamas applauds the work of the Secretariat towards permanently halting the transmission of all polio viruses in endemic nations.
Mrs. Butler says the Bahamas looks forward to the prioritization and financial support towards complete implementation of the polio eradication strategy 2022 to 2026, which includes vaccine adherence. With tourism in the country experiencing a significant boost since the ending of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is being reported that the country's #1 industry makes record profits as opportunities are abundant. Now, a collaboration will see that opportunities in the tourism sector are provided to Bahamian people. Cale Campbell has more in this next report.
A $250,000 tourism leadership scholarship program spanning over the next 5 years was unveiled by the Lyford Key Foundation in collaboration with Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board. Speaking on behalf of Lyford Key Foundation Chairman Basil Goulandris, member of the Executive Board Judith Whitehead gave these remarks.
This is the first tourism leadership scholarship to be offered by the foundations, and we are delighted to partner with an organization which represents the leading hoteliers and business minds in the tourism sector. We all know how important the tourism sector is for the Bahamas. It has transformed the economy of the Bahamas so that now we enjoy one of the highest per capita incomes and quality of life in the region. Through tourism, many Bahamians have achieved significant mobility in their careers. Many have spent time abroad, worked in global properties, and come back home to ascend to management positions. However, we know that many more need these opportunities, which we hope will be achieved by helping tourism scholars attain higher education in competitive, globally recognized tourism programs at the undergraduate and graduate levels.
CEO of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, Joy Jibrilu, the first Bahamian to hold her position at the company, spoke on the opportunity presented to provide opportunities to fellow Bahamians.
This is the culmination of months of networking and negotiation with stakeholders within the tourism industry who provided the resources to fund this initiative, as well as with the foundation, whose executive director, Dr. Nicola Virgil Rowe, was really enthusiastic and supportive about the proposal and encouraging of our efforts. So we've all pulled together to establish this scholarship fund because we believe it to be a necessary intervention to support the future sustainability of Bahamian tourism. The original mandate of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board included support for training initiatives, and we consider this initiative to be a timely homage to that mandate. Our partners, the Cable Beach Resort Association and the Paradise Island Tourism Development Association, also believe in the value of this initiative and have therefore each pledged funds to support it as well.
Lifer Key Executive Director Dr. Nicola Virgil Roll, who herself was a Lifer Key Foundation scholar, gave details into the selection process of potential candidates.
So this scholarship process will begin with our 2024 scholarship cycle. So we have given, by announcing today, given students and people who are interested in going back to school the opportunity to prepare themselves. So what we're going to be doing over the next few months is approaching the tourism properties, students studying at the University of the Bahamas in tourism, and just promoting it widely that there is now a new opportunity for a hefty scholarship of $25,000 available for 2 students to study. And then in February of next year, you'll begin the process of applying to the Lifer Key Foundation once you have obtained your acceptance into one of those recognized accredited universities, and apply through our portal at liferkeyfoundations.org. And you would go through a process of being reviewed for looking at your, first of all, financial need, but also your ability to contribute one day to the tourism sector. And so we will select a screening committee who will work with us in selecting the 2 candidates.
The program will provide $25,000 in scholarship funding to 2 winning candidates each year in an effort to prepare promising industry professionals for critical industry positions. Though the foundation has provided over $50 million in investments to Bahamian students and nonprofits, sending more than 3,000 Bahamians to college, this is the first time funding has been focused on tourism management, vision, and leadership. For Love 97 News, I'm Cale Campbell.
Thanks for that report, Cale. Sterling Global and 2 Hoops Productions awarded $90,000 to 3 community organizations, including Lend a Hand Bahamas, the Bahamas National Trust, and the Bahamas Feeding Network, who all received $30,000 to assist with their daily operations. David Kasoy, Executive Chairman and founder of Sterling Global Financial Limited, says Hurricane Hole Super Yacht Marina has always aimed to be a force for good in this country.
But as Bahamas has been my home for more than 20 years, I feel it is home. And also to be able to do something to help where so much help is needed gives me great gratitude, or gives us great gratitude, is giving back. Because in life, it's giving back. It's not about getting, it's about giving. Giving is all the source of blessings. And by giving, it's way better than receiving, in my opinion. My father once told me that. We get way better pleasure from giving, and to see that this money will come to a lot of good use for proper charitable causes does a lot for us. And we intend to back these 3 charities, which is part of Hurricane Hole, for the rest of the year as we keep raising money, and also on to the next year we're going to do this again.
The Bahamas National Trust, the steward of 32 national marine and terrestrial parks that works to preserve and enhance the country's natural resources, the Bahamas Feeding Network, which works to end the hunger crisis, and Lend a Hand Bahamas, which operates a community center that provides educational and skills training, all express their appreciation.
We must say thank you. This is tremendous. This is going to be having a very big impact on what we're doing and what we have in store for the community of the Over the Hill.
We are incredibly proud of Sterling Global and all of their partners in 2 Hoops Productions for this initiative. This $90,000 going into the community and supporting 3 tremendous Bahamian organizations is phenomenal.
I just want to join the chorus of those who already thanked Sterling Group. And like his president said so eloquently, the good book puts it another way. It is more blessed to give than to receive. When you see the smiles on people's faces, especially some of the children who you know are really hungry.
In addition to the Hurricane Hole Helps donation, Lend a Hand Bahamas will get a boost in the form of a matching contribution from the Contigo Foundation, which has pledged to match all donations up to $300,000 made towards the development of a second community center here in New Providence. And finally, Coach Jack Donald Knowles is a retired physical education teacher and avid junkanoo with the world-famous Valley Boys for over 50 years. He played an intricate role in the sporting success of the C.H. Reeves Rebels, now the C.H. Reeves Raptors, back in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, oftentimes taking students under his wing and guiding them to become better athletes and responsible citizens. Unfortunately, several years ago, Coach Knowles suffered a heart attack and today is in need of life-saving heart surgery. We visited with him in hospital to get his story.
Unfortunately, I always thought I was in the best of health because even at age 65, I was still high jumping and triple jumping. And I went to bed, and about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I wake up and there it was. I was having a heart attack. This was in October of 2019. And because I had some experience in CPR and other things, I was able to get myself in a position until I was able to come to the PMH. And what I thought was going on, they diagnosed me as really having a heart attack. As time went by, I saw some other physical things happening to me, like my hand, sort of like when you had a stroke, you know, with this right hand, and the use of it wasn't as it used to be. And then I started losing weight. And then I went back to the doctor and found out I had what they consider as, you are now considered to be heart failure as a patient. And so I had to go in periodically and let them check me out. And then they found out that my heart should have been working at 60%, but at the time it was only working at 40%.
To help raise funds for the surgery, Coach Knowles is having a stakeout at the R. Bailey Park Saturday, June 3rd, beginning at 12 noon, with each ticket just $15 for a half a chicken or steak. He explains how the funds raised will be used.
And so I've been, for the last year and a half, trying to raise sufficient funds that I can have this procedure that he recommended, that you will have to go in and see if there's a blockage or some other thing that they're not quite sure what's going on with the heart. All I know, there's a circulation problem and the heart is overworking. And about a month ago, they tell me now the heart is only working at 35%. And the heart went from being 1 fist size to 2 fist size. So it became an urgent matter that I have this procedure done. The surgery, like I said, all the medication and the procedure itself, they told me it costs around $13,500 because that would include anesthesis and the procedure itself. Okay? And so what I've been trying to do with this stakeout is to raise sufficient funds that at least I could go to him and say, I have this, and then I think the social services will try and match whatever I come up, so we would satisfy what is needed in order for this to be done.
Coach Knowles, who has touched many lives in a positive way, says he has gotten some support but wishes there was more, as he is in a fight for his life.
Hopefully between now and Wednesday I'm out of here, I could go back and complete preparations for Saturday on the 3rd. And you know, and in the meantime, I had some former students, Mary Edgecombe, Jackie Chisholm, Pharrell, Clark Davis, who else? Corley. These are former students who have volunteered some service to help me make sure I get this going and off the ground. You know, and then like yourself, I spoke to you, I thought you in the media, you might be able to help with getting the word out there of what's going on. You know, and the donate. It's a rough time for everybody finding funds and items, you know. But I think the Valley Boys have made an effort to try and do something. And I only got Varel at C.H. Reeves. I expected they wouldn't that I would have gotten maybe more support from the former schools in which I worked, but unfortunately, I don't know what's going on. It didn't happen.
Again, the stakeout is set for Saturday, June 3rd at the Aaron Bailey Park. For tickets or donations, you can contact Coach Knowles at 552-3521, 552-3521. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jarino Saunders. Thanks so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.